This is ABC 7 News at 6.
A Liberty man charged with murder in connection with a Palermo homicide appeared in court today to enter a plea. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. 59-year-old Kirby Bradford pleaded not guilty in connection with a homicide in Palermo in April of last year. Police say they found the body of 56-year-old Robert Brusso outside the residence at 128 Boots and Saddle Road when they went for a welfare check. In court, the state asked for a writing sample from Bradford to compare it to a handwritten note found in a workspace Bradford used.
Police found trash. In that trash was a written note that contained a relatively detailed, I don't want to overstate, but a relatively detailed diagram of the victim's property and a list of things that whoever wrote the note, a jury could reasonably infer was a list of either things to get or actions to accomplish, such as stun gun, bring him someplace out of sight, zip ties.
Well, the judge granted the request for the writing sample. Bradford was indicted on a second charge of possession of a firearm by a prohibited person. The judge decided not to have that charge tried at the same time as it could potentially prejudice the jury. Bradford is being held without bail until his trial. Today, Governor Janet Mills released a detailed policy platform that outlines how she plans to address several critical issues if elected to the U.S. Senate. Maine's Senate race is becoming one of the most closely watched races in the state, and our Grace Blanchard spoke with the political expert to break down the latest developments.
Expanding health care, child care, and capping prescription drug costs. Those are just a few issues that Governor Janet Mills touched on as she released a nearly 20-page policy platform for her U.S. Senate campaign. The platform builds on proposals she has already outlined, including fighting for universal health care and defending women's reproductive freedom.
To this point, the governor's campaign has really been one that's focused on, standing up, being the best candidate to stand up to Donald Trump.
Political expert Mark Brewer says he was not surprised by the governor's agenda. However, he noted that the release was earlier and more detailed than expected, something he attributes to her standing in the race.
By all the data that we have, she's trailing in that contested primary. So I think that's probably what's a little bit different than it would be if she were kind of cruising to this nomination.
According to Brewer, the battle between Mills and opponent Graham Plattner is one of the most closely followed in the state. He described some of Mills's latest moves, such as an attack ad against Plattner, as revealing potential vulnerability within the campaign.
Once things get, desperate for one side or the other, then that's when the negative campaigning comes out. And the reason that campaigns go negative is that it works.
Also vying to go up against incumbent Senator Susan Collins is candidate David Costello. However, with fundraising efforts trailing, Brewer says his odds are not looking promising.
Not to disparage his campaign in any way, but the reality is this is a Plattner-Mills race.
A link to the governor's policy platform can be found on our website, foxbangor.com. The Mills campaign said in a release that she will continue to detail more proposals as she continues to campaign across the state. In studio, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In other news, the Secretary of State's office has issued draft wording on a citizen initiative question that could appear on the November ballot. That question revolves around transgender students. As drafted, it reads, quote, "Do you want to change civil rights and education laws to require public schools to restrict access to bathrooms and sports based on the gender on the child's original birth certificate and allow students to sue the school?" The Secretary of State's office will be accepting public comment regarding the question's form and content for a 30-day period beginning today until 5 p.m. on May 7th. All comments will be reviewed and considered before the ballot question is finalized by May 28th. The question will appear on the ballot unless it is enacted by the legislature by the end of the month. Well, the Maine State Chamber of Commerce spoke out against the proposed supplemental budget today, specifically a new tax proposal. The budget contains a proposal to place a special additional 2% tax on those earning $1 million each year or more. This includes both residents and businesses. The chamber gathered today to say they think the new tax could actually cause an exodus from the state and that it would be bad for the state's economy. They also said the new tax could make it difficult for family members to transfer ownership of a family business or even just to retire.
Number of well-known employee-owned businesses, Chinbro, for example, that when they exit as an employee, they sell the share of the company. That is their retirement. So we're imposing a tax on those very businesses that are building the economy in Maine.
Woodcock says that this tax proposal should be stricken from the budget due to widespread skepticism, along with at least one other proposal to create a more bipartisan budget. Meanwhile, another Maine school board is discussing closing a rural elementary school. Our Callie Warren is standing by live at the RSU 63 meeting in Holden, where they're discussing the future of the Eddington Elementary School. Callie, now what are the details of this potential closure?
Thanks, Beth. Well, I'm here at that meeting right now, and as you can see behind me, there are quite a few folks in attendance. We're in public comment right now. And the school board released a statement on their Facebook page earlier today saying that they feel that the Eddington Elementary School is, and I quote, unnecessary or unprofitable. The National Center for Education Statistics reports that the school serves around 116 pre-K to first grade students and employs about 12 full-time teachers. The vote tonight is to potentially consolidate the students and close the school. We have been told that no educators will lose their jobs, but rather they will be moved to other positions within the district. If the measure is supported tonight by a 2/3 majority of the school board and passes a referendum vote through the towns of Clifton, Eddington, and Holden later this year, then the anticipated closure date, according to the school board, would be July 1st of 2027. We'll be bringing you more information from this meeting and the vote later tonight. Beth, back to you.
Callie, thank you so much. The Greater Bangor 4th of July Committee is calling on veterans to help make this year's 250th 4th of July celebration one to remember. Veterans are invited to take part in the parade, walking side by side with their fellow service members, while community residents line the streets and show support. Organizers say the goal is to make this year one of the biggest and most meaningful celebrations yet. Vice President of the committee, Jennifer Goddard, says this milestone year is more than just a celebration. It's about recognizing and honoring the men and women who made it all possible.
We believe that, if it weren't for our veterans, we wouldn't be able to celebrate this huge milestone. So we really want to see a huge military representation, and especially those of our veterans, so we can appreciate them.
Organizers say the committee is working to finalize a flyover with Black Hawk helicopters and other military aircraft. Later that evening, the committee says they're putting on what is expected to be the largest fireworks display in the state of Maine. Veterans interested in taking part in this year's parade can sign up through the Bangor 4th of July Committee's website, and we will have a link to that on our website, foxbangor.com. And now, folks, we will pause and take a first look at our forecast.
All right, Beth, thank you. Happy Tuesday. A little cool out there today. High temperatures only near 40. The average high is near 50 this time of year. We're going to work on that, though, as warmer temperatures are on the way after we get the rain and snow showers out there now, out of here tonight into tomorrow as well. So here's the radar again. Nothing heavy in here, but just know some light rain and light snow showers out there tonight. Not a big deal. Likely out of here before daybreak tomorrow morning, and then sunshine throughout the afternoon. High pressure building in. We earned it. Giving us some very nice days for us, really, through most of Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, with warming temperatures in there as well. So again, those little bursts of snow tonight, the front's going to go through, clearing skies after midnight, and then really tomorrow is going to be a very nice day for everybody. Our forecast then for tonight, though, is, again, rain and snow showers ending, and then decreasing clouds late. Still kind of cool, though, with low temperatures hanging out near 22. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth?
Thank you so much. Coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, a beloved icon in the town of Skowhegan was recently sold, and our Jody Hersey was in Stockton Springs to highlight a local artist. We'll have those stories and much more as ABC 7 News at 6 continues.
Be back in a bit. Try not to burn the house down. Guess it's a good thing we got AAA.
AAA, we're always with you.
When you work in disaster services, the phone rings at all hours. Penobscot Cleaning, can I help you? People appreciate hearing a real voice on the other end. Since 1976, that personal touch has set us apart. When disaster strikes, you just want your life back to normal. You want a reputable company, someone you can trust. We take care of things and give you peace of mind. I'm Jason Sear, owner of Penobscot Cleaning Services. 24/7, we're here for you.
When I had first left for college, I was super excited to start pursuing my dreams, and I had met so many amazing people my freshman year. Yeah, some days were really hard, balancing work life and classes, but most of them, they were the best of my life, because I had something not everyone gets. A dad inspiring me every step of the way, and I'm so happy to graduate beside you.
Are you losing sleep trying to handle an accident claim on your own? Are you frustrated by how complicated your life has become? Get an expert team working for you today. Call Joe for a free case evaluation. Use your time to heal and let Joe Bornstein's office deal with the insurance company. The law offices of Joe Bornstein. Accidents happen to be our specialty.
Peter Van here. You know, I thought growing up would be the worst, but then I found a way to hack adulthood. It's called AAA. With AAA, I'm covered from roadside to poolside, and insurance and member perks that make adulting a breeze. With AAA, it pays to be a member.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. A historic sculpture in Skowhegan is now under new ownership. A more than 60-foot tall wooden sculpture of a Native American fisherman has been a local landmark for nearly 60 years. The Skowhegan Regional Chamber of Commerce confirmed it has reached an agreement with a new nonprofit group called Watching Point, which is taking over stewardship of the structure. Over the years, town officials say storm damage has taken a toll on the structure, making it a liability and potential safety hazard. According to the chamber, the nonprofit aims to preserve the sculpture to ensure it remains accessible for future generations. Well, a Stockton Springs artist with an eye for color and a love of nature is creating paintings of various shapes and sizes that all celebrate Maine's beauty. Our Jody Hersey has more.
Growing up in the city, Peter Walls isn't sure what first attracted him to art.
I grew up in rural New York State, and art was, I don't even know why I liked art personally. You know, we didn't have museums or galleries where we lived.
Despite his surroundings, Walls says he just knew he was born to paint.
I've been an artist since I was young. I think I was one of those, when I was like 6 or 7 years old that I would be doing this.
Walls, who now calls Stockton Springs home, started doing shaped paintings years ago to get through Maine's long winters.
I work on a lot of pieces at once. I'm working on about 15 or 16 that are all close to finished.
His art has been on display at the Zillman Museum in Bangor and now Blue Raven Gallery in Rockland. Walls is also a public art liaison for community groups like Bangor Beautiful and Waterfall Arts.
Public art takes a lot of coordination and work with a lot of different people, versus the studio work, which is just me alone painting. But it's good to have both, I feel, for myself.
Capturing Maine's scenic beauty, one painting at a time.
It's not an easy profession by any means, but every day is a joy to work on what I do.
In Stockton Springs, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Some actually absolutely gorgeous work right there. Well, still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, our Alex Schley went to the Augusta Civic Center to highlight the 47th annual Maine State Math Meet. And in sports, the Maine baseball team season is heating up, and we have that story after the break.
Starting in May 2026, Maine Paid Family and Medical Leave gives eligible workers up to 12 weeks to take the time needed for parental and family care, medical, military family, and safe leave. With partial wage replacement, your income stays protected, giving you peace of mind. Leave is flexible, portable, and available to self-employed Mainers who elect coverage. Maine Paid Family and Medical Leave. It's how we care. It's who we are. Benefits begin May 2026. Learn more at maine.gov/paid leave.
When I was 29, I was diagnosed with cancer. And I think part of research and advocating for more money for cancer research allows survivors to have more time. Senator Collins supports and advocates for more funding for cancer research so that people can have better treatments, they can have better outcomes, and therefore they can live better lives as cancer survivors. Thank you, Senator Collins. Continue fighting for our families.
It's all fun, all hybrid, and all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive Toyota Camry Hybrid, a well-appointed, stylish hybrid that's all about comfort and all about exceptional driving range. And with special 3.99% financing for 72 months, all about great value. The all-fun, all-wheel drive Camry Hybrid, an all-around great choice. See your New England Toyota dealer, your hybrid all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
Is that a compression nut?
Oh!
We got a duct taper.
Welcome back in, everyone. After a slow start to the season, the Maine baseball team is heating up. Our Max Sturm caught up with the squad after their weekend series against Bryant.
You come to the park, you never know what kind of team you have. I do know that we have a team that shows up and wants to be on the field.
Just a few short weeks ago, the Maine baseball team returned home from play down south with a 3-19 record. But now, in the thick of conference play, they hold a 5-4 America East record. The Black Bears' most recent matchup was with conference rival Bryant University, who they lost to in the first game, but rallied back on Friday and Saturday for 2 big wins.
We got back in the locker room and talked about how you can't lose a series in one game, and that really motivated everyone to just go out Friday and Saturday with everything we had.
Maine won Friday's game handedly 11-5, but in a much tighter game on Saturday, they trailed 1-0 until the 6th inning. That's when junior Nick Pepe hammered a ball over the fence for a grand slam.
2-1 count, I was just sitting on something, man. Threw his hanging slider and just hit it out.
Plays like that are why the Black Bears say they are never out of any game.
It could be 5-0 in the last inning, and we're going to fight. We're going to scratch.
Late inning stress, early game stress, it doesn't matter. These guys are going to go out and play the pitch for what its value is, which is always one pitch, and we're going to keep moving forward as a club.
A major point of emphasis for the Black Bears after returning home was to improve their hitting, which graduate student Juju Stevens says has come a long way.
We got a lot of people swinging a hot stick now. Guys who weren't swinging hot stick now are swinging hot stick, so it's never like, oh, this person's got to go 4 for 4. Now it's like just passing the baton.
On deck for the Black Bears is a weekend trip down to Boston to play Northeastern and Merrimack. While many teams game plan for their opponents, Maine is focused on game planning for themselves.
It's always us versus us. So we need to just, this week's practice is us getting better. We're preparing for ourselves. We're preparing to get better at our strengths and close down some of our weaknesses.
If we're playing A+ baseball, our A+ baseball stacks up with anybody in the country.
Just fundamentals, just keep hitting the ball hard, just stay on it, that's it.
In Orono, Max Sturm, ABC 7 and Fox 22 Sports.
Thank you for that, Max. Well, folks, as of right now, the Red Sox are the worst team in the league. And I could stand here and tell you how much they've been struggling, how poor the defense is, and how awful the pitching's been. Or we could spice things up with a juicy storyline and just ignore the elephant in the room. And I think that's what we'll do. Sparks were close to flying at Fenway on Monday night, as for the 24th time in his career, the Milwaukee Brewers hit former Cardinals, now Red Sox first baseman Wilson Contreras with a pitch. The 6th time That pitch came from Woodruff. Funny enough, his brother William is behind the plate for the Brewers. Now Contreras didn't take a liking to it, obviously, and had a clear statement about where he stands if and when hit by pitch number 25 ever comes.
It's not just a hit by pitch. That's the 24th time that they hit me in my career, 24th. And that's the 6th time they hit me. And they always say, I'm not trying to hit you. That get old. So next time they hit me again, I'm going to take one of them out. That's what happened. That's a message. That's a message.
That is a message. We'll have the highlights for you later on to see if anything comes of that. For now, that's all the time we have for sports. Here's your full 5-day forecast.
All right, Jack, let's start here. Low temperatures today. We're a bit cool, right? 22 here in Bangor, 25 Millinocket. So again, we're going to work on this. Warmer temperatures are on the way after we have some rain and snow showers in the area for tonight. And highs today, not much recovery, right? 40 Millinocket, 42 for the Bangor area. Average highs are near 50 this time of year. We're going to get there, though, as warmer temperatures are on the way. Not so much today. Tomorrow's better, followed by really getting in here for Friday and Saturday, warmer temperatures then. All right, so across the west here, looking at temperatures in the 70s across parts of really Oklahoma into parts of the Phoenix area. But this is going to stay there for now. Summer is holding there currently, but again, it'll feel more like spring around here beginning as soon as tomorrow, but more so for Thursday and Friday. The wind out there today kind of died down for a while, basically out of the west, then southwest for a bit. It's going to turn more southwesterly tonight into tomorrow ahead of high pressure building in for us for several days. So that'll make a calm wind at night. So we're out there now. The wave heights are approaching 2 to 4 feet directly on shore. A little bit more as you got to see. This is enough, though, for a small craft advisory out there now running through tomorrow afternoon. But overall, waves are not that bad. We can definitely handle this. This will likely not be extended as we have better weather on the way. So some light rain and light snow showers out there tonight. Somebody could see an inch or two of slushy snow. Yes, right? Tomorrow, sunshine's back in the forecast, followed by warmer temperatures in there as well. There could be a couple of 60s in the 5-day forecast going forward. But a very active radar out there currently. But again, a lot of this is not reaching the ground. There are some light rain showers out there, some light snow showers out there, and there could be a couple bursts of heavier snow this evening. This will likely give somebody an inch or two of snow. Not likely, though, with this system tonight. It'll quickly get out of here by daybreak tomorrow morning. And behind it, look at high pressure building in for several days. This could give us a quick shower late Friday evening. Most likely not. Our next chance for meaningful rain after tonight, really, rain and snow, is going to be not till Monday of next week. So overall, this gets out of here this evening. High pressure builds in, clearing skies overnight. Cool temperatures down near 20 for a low tonight. And then sunshine throughout the day tomorrow for most locations. Also on Thursday into Friday as well. So again, a nice stretch of weather unfolding for us after that rain and snow across the region this evening. And then really into Thursday and Friday, a couple of rain showers are possible with this system again on Friday. But again, that's not going to be a big deal at all. The bigger deal for heavier rainfall could be in here probably Monday of next week. So again, this is going to be an inch or so of snow for some locations tonight. That'll be unlikely, though, but just know you could get that. It'll quickly melt, though, by tomorrow morning with warmer temperatures on the way. All right, forecast then for tonight, those rain, snow ending, low temperatures down near 20 with a southwest breeze around 5. For tomorrow, mostly sunny, highs near 45, melting snow tomorrow if it snows in your backyard tonight. Then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows 45 tomorrow, 52 Thursday, near 60 on Friday. We earned it. Here's the weekend, Saturday 54, maybe some rain showers late Sunday night.
Thank you, Jeff. Overall, looks pretty great. We appreciate it, and there is still more to come after the break.
Get 0% APR for up to 48 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the purchase of a new 2026 Sportage.
I got hurt by a big truck. Why did I call the twos? Because life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. We got a client who broke multiple bones in a commercial vehicle accident, $700,000. Call the twos. We win for you.
Carhartt, clothing that works as hard as you do. We've got it. Miller's Workshop, for brands that work.
Keep your feet on the ground, they said. So many people have told you you can't. They say you don't listen. So you don't listen to them. You rise to your moment. It feels like every idea is crystal clear. It feels like every line, every angle is perfect. It feels like you are at the top of your game. And with Fidium Fiber Internet, you are.
It feels like Fidium.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Hundreds of students from across Maine gathered at the Augusta Civic Center today for the 47th annual Maine State Math Meet. And as our Alex Schley tells us, this year's competition wasn't just about crunching numbers, but also about honoring one of the key figures behind the meet's success.
Today's been pretty fun.
We focus on just having like a good time.
It's been really fun so far. I think the questions are challenging enough. They're just fun questions to solve.
That positive energy multiplied across the room Tuesday as the Maine State Math Meet brought nearly 900 students together, all trying to solve their way to the top.
There are 6 individual rounds, and we're going to have 2 relay rounds, which are kind of interesting, where the kids hand the answer to the person behind them, and then if they get the answer right at the very end, okay, they get some good points. And then otherwise there's a collaborative part where they all work on some particularly difficult problems together.
This is Mount Desert Island High School senior Alexander Donahue's second year competing. He says many of the questions challenge their understanding of the rules.
There's weird stuff that we don't usually learn in typical math that is sort of more niche and you wouldn't really encounter that much in the real world.
At the end of the day, the top performers are recognized.
We give out awards to top kids for the regular season and top teams for the regular season. Then at the end of the meet, we give out trophies for today.
Each of the individual regular season awards is named after people who have had a lasting impact on the organization.
We have a new bowl this year that the one it's named for, we don't believe knows it's coming.
Pete Peterson has spent nearly 4 decades with the Maine Association of Math Leagues. In that time, he's coached, written problems, and helped shape the next generation of educators.
Been involved with mammals since 1988, and to me it's the best experience I've had in my life as a teacher.
And now that experience built on his love for math and passion for teaching will be remembered long after he steps away. In Augusta, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, it has since been announced that the Bangor's math team earned more points than any other team at this year's competition, so congratulations to them. And if you're heading through Ellsworth, you might notice some colorful new additions. Students at the middle school and the high school have been working with the city to design and paint unique flags centered on Earth Day themes of sustainability and environmental conservation. The flags have been installed by the city's ground maintenance team. They will be flying throughout the city during the month of April. Students say they learned a lot about the importance of taking care of your community.
That would make us happy, and it's really cool for us to see the flags up.
Yeah, to see our own artwork hanging above the sky so all of Ellsworth can see it.
After flying through Earth Day and the month of April, the flags will be taken down on May 1st to make way for the traditional American flags for the city's Memorial Day observance. But in the meantime, go out and take a look at those flags if you can. Alrighty, folks, well, that is going to do it for us. From everyone here at ABC 7 News, take care and have a great rest of your night. And for more, join us over on Fox 22 News tonight at 6:30.
Tonight, President Trump warns the deadline for Iran is final.
They're going to have no power plants, Stone Ages. Yeah.
Plus, Artemis 2 breaking records.
Or you have to keep it insured. And if he gets into an accident, it's your responsibility. If he didn't just damage another car, but if he hurt somebody, it would still be your responsibility. And his, but yours too. Do you understand? You can't come to court when you own a car that you don't insure and have either a good story, a not so good story, so that you want somebody else to pay for something that you could have avoided if you had insurance. Now, you drove another car, didn't you?
Yes, that was my car.
Just a second, and so you had insurance.
I took it off in 2017 when I was selling it.
We're done. Thank you very much. Your case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
My opinion's the only one that counts.
I don't feel like I should be responsible for his crash.
The brakes went out, and
basically he just said a whole lie out there for one.
I didn't know it was out.
Like, he's driving the car, he wasn't supposed to drive the car.
Went into another car, coming to a stop sign.
He's definitely responsible.
I don't know. It really is what it is.
He's not friends. His whole family is cut off.
This is Fox 22 News Tonight.
A Liberty man charged with murder in connection with a Palermo homicide appeared in court today to enter a plea. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. 59-year-old Kirby Bradford pleaded not guilty in connection with a homicide in Palermo in April of last year. Police say they found the body of 56-year-old Robert Brusso outside the residence located at 128 Boots and Saddle Road when they went for a welfare check. In court today, the state asked for a writing sample from Bradford to compare it to a handwritten note found in a workspace Bradford used.
Police found trash. In that trash was a written note that contained a relatively detailed, I don't want to overstate, but a relatively detailed diagram of the victim's property and a list of things that whoever wrote the note